The time right now is 6:21. In your health headlines this morning, the Republicans' plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act is sparking protests across the country, including some in Iowa and Illinois.
Last week, both the House and the Senate approved a measure allowing the law to be repealed with only a simple majority. Rallies in Chicago and Des Moines had hundreds calling for action to stop the plans from moving forward. Critics of repealing the Affordable Care Act say there is a very real danger that millions will lose their health care.
I think we're going to get it. You need to reach out. Every elected official, every member of Congress, take no one for granted and tell them if they don't replace with something as good or better, for God's sake, don't repeal.
Now if they take away the protections of the ACA, she's not going to be protected for that pre-existing condition, and her lifetime cap, that protection goes away. So what's going to happen if her cancer comes back?
With the recent vote in Washington, congressional committees are now beginning to write the repeal legislation. Well, Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul says he has come out with a replacement for the Affordable Care Act. Among dozens of changes that would come if the bill is repealed, he says his plan would remove some of the insurance coverage mandates that drive up premium costs. He did praise the creators of the ACA, saying they had good intentions with the bill, but says it includes too many mandates and has broken the insurance model in the individual market. If the ACA is repealed with no replacement, nearly 20 million Americans would be impacted.
Today is considered Blue Monday, which is one of the most depressing days of the year and has one of the highest suicide rates. But health experts say there are a few things people can do to help pull themselves out of a funk. They say make sure you get enough sleep and that you aren't overeating. Another tip is to exercise at least 20 minutes a few times a week. Above all, medical experts say it's natural to have down or bad days. Just don't dwell on it. Well, lemons can apparently teach you a lot about breast cancer. That's the message from a group called Worldwide Breast Cancer. These 12 lemons in an egg carton illustrate the 12 signs of breast cancer. Erin Smith-Chiez says she decided to share this photo, and it's since been shared more than 40,000 times.
New research says eating peppery foods might make you live longer. The report cited data from more than 16,000 Americans. It found adults who ate red hot chili peppers had a 13% lower hazard of death compared to those who didn't. Researchers say capsaicin, the main ingredient in peppers, is an antimicrobial that can prevent obesity that leads to a decreased risk of cardiovascular, lung, and other problems. There's now a new urine test that could potentially reveal how healthy your diet is. The scientists behind it say this urine test detects the chemicals made as food is processed in the body, be it fruit, vegetables, fish, or different types of meats. They say that since about 60% of people either overreport or underreport the amount of food they eat, the test could potentially help fight obesity and other diseases like type 2 diabetes.
Well, cue the hallelujah chorus. A nutrition professor has found a way to lose weight without giving up junk food. Back in 2010, Mark Hubb of Kansas State University ate either Twinkies, Nutty Bars, or powdered donuts every 3 hours instead of meals. He also ate Doritos, sugary cereals, and Oreos. The results? He lost 27 pounds in 2 months.
How's that happen?
But researchers say junk food consists of heavy amounts of processed sugars and fats, and that while the professor would add a multivitamin, it could lead to a ton of health issues, including type 2 diabetes. So while we may be able to eat junk food, it's not very good for us in the long run.
Report only on News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
The time right now is 6:25. We check road conditions every 15 minutes here on Good Morning Quad Cities. This is a live look at I-74 near the Spruce Hills Drive exit. No accidents to report so far this morning, but we are reporting and seeing some slick conditions. The airports, that's where there's a lot of problems this morning. We have a number of cancellations out of Cedar Rapids, out of the Quad Cities, and out of Peoria as well.
Yeah, continuing to follow some of your reports as well. Take a look at the radar picture outside right now in and around Warren. Mike says it's very icy out there. Do have reports at the Quad City Airport. It's very slick. There are air delays, as we've been mentioning. 32 degrees in Galva. David says the sidewalks are treacherous. Just tried to walk the dog and almost fell down. Careful out there. Fulton, Illinois. Ice-covered roads at 6 a.m. No treatment on the roads up to where Patty's house is. Savannah is 30 degrees with heavy rain coming down. We continue to keep you covered with the roadways here this morning on a tricky morning commute.